Back in
really?
2020, when the pandemic was still causing all kinds of chaos, I started driving for Uber to make ends meet. I was laid off from my retail job and needed quick income. The thing about rideshare gigs is you see all kinds of people, especially when you're working late nights like I was. There were awkward encounters, drunk passengers, weird conversations,
Uh,
but none of that compares to what happened one.
man, oh man, you had to deal with the city girls, bitch. That's who the fuck you had to deal with the city girls. Mm, we know.
One Friday night in October. It was a little after midnight, and I had just dropped someone off at a hotel near the outskirts of town. My app pinged almost immediately with a new request. The pickup location was about 6 minutes away, in front of a bowling alley that was part of a strip mall. Pretty standard stuff.
Okay.
The name on the ride said Derek. I
Derek.
accepted it and started heading over.
Okay,
The area
Derek.
was quiet when I arrived, just a few dim parking lot lights.
Oh, nigga, you're finna get penetrated. I'm not gonna lie to you. This nigga brought you to an abandoned parking lot to penetrate you. He's gonna do something so trifling to you. You don't even want to know, cause all you need to know though, all you need to know though, is that he's gonna give it to you. You're in a random parking lot. He's gonna give it to you.
No cars in sight, and the bowling alley looked closed. But there was a man standing alone under one of the lights, wearing a gray hoodie and jeans.
Nigga, don't let him get in your car. You need to cancel and pull off. Like, nigga, look too suspicious. And I know that you're a white guy doing this shit. So, nigga, pull off. If your instincts didn't click in, pull the fuck off. Why are you gonna sit here?
He was tall, maybe 6'2", with his hands in his pockets, head down like he was looking at his shoes.
And
As
you
I pulled
trust
up,
that.
he looked at me, but didn't wave or move. I rolled down the window and said, "You Derek?" He nodded slowly, walked over, and got into the back seat behind me. I started the trip and asked him if the destination in the app was correct, an address about 20 minutes away in a residential neighborhood I'd never been to. He said, "Yeah, that's right," in a quiet, calm voice. I
That
remember
nigga just
thinking he
off the
sounded
nigga.
a little off.
He just
Not
off
drunk or
someone.
high, just sort of flat, emotionless. But I didn't think too hard about it at the time.
Oh yeah.
I started driving, and he didn't say anything for the next 5 or 6 minutes. I glanced at him in the rearview mirror now and then, and every time I looked, he was staring straight ahead. Not out the window or at his phone, just at the back of my head.
He's watching every single one of your moves, cause that nigga just off someone. He either off someone or either he wants this nigga to asshole. Cause who the fuck do you know that dressed like that late at night in the middle of a random parking lot? That reminds me of the Facebook Marketplace story that we watched a few months ago. What the fuck? Like,
I tried to break
go
the
ahead.
silence by asking how his night was going. He paused, then said, "Just needed to get out of there." I asked, "Out of where?" He said, "Doesn't matter." So I didn't push it. We drove a while longer. About 15 minutes in, I realized we were getting closer to the destination, but the address was in a really isolated part of town. No streetlights, big yards, and lots of
This nigga's finna kill you. He's finna kill you.
trees. As we approached the address, he suddenly leaned forward and said, "Actually, can you pull into that driveway right there?" He pointed to a house on the right.
He's finna
The
kill
house
you.
was dark, no lights on inside or out. It looked old and abandoned, honestly. It had an overgrown lawn and paint peeling on the siding. There was also no car in the driveway. I said, "Is this your place?" And he said, "Just pull in." I hesitated, but turned into the driveway. I stopped near the front of the house and put the car in park. He didn't get out. I looked back at him and said, "Everything all right?" He stared at the front door and said, "Wait here." Then he got out and started walking toward the house. He didn't go to the front door. He walked around the side of the building and disappeared from view. I sat there for
You sat there, bitch. Pull off. You don't, nigga. You took him to his destination. Pull the fuck off. Why would you sit? Oh my god. I just know you're white doing this goofy shit, man. Why would you sit here? You just look at the house that they gave us. Just look at this shit. Just look at it. This is the house where they finna find your dead corpse at, brother. No bullshit. You just sat up here and said you already felt sketched out by this motherfucker in the car. You still driving this nigga to an abandoned house. He then asks you to stay, and then you're proceeding to stay, even though you already dropped him off at his destination. If he get that ass, he can have you. I'm not even gonna lie, you just dumb as shit.
Maybe 2 minutes, trying to decide what to do. The ride was technically still going. I didn't want to drive off and get penalized, but I
Nigga,
also
fuck
felt
the
like something wasn't
penalization.
right.
You better take that
My
shit.
gut told me this guy wasn't just heading
That's
inside
one.
to grab something.
You making it seem like you finna get fired, bitch. And even if you did, just make a fake account. What the fuck? Like, you don't know no ball?
Finally, I ended the trip manually. I marked it as
Right.
complete and started to back out of the driveway.
Pull
But before
off.
I could shift into reverse, I saw him walking back toward the car, fast. His hands were empty, and he had this strange look on his face, like he was angry or excited. I unlocked the doors because I didn't want to make it a confrontation, but something in me was screaming not to let him back in. He opened the rear door, got in, and said, "Take me to the other place." I asked, "What other place?"
He
He
canceled
said,
that shit.
"Just drive, I'll tell you." I said, "You need to put it in the app." He didn't answer. He just stared at me in the mirror. I said again, "I can't take you anywhere unless you put it in the app." He didn't say a word. After a few seconds, he told me to drive to where I picked him up. I didn't want to argue anymore, so I started heading back toward the strip mall.
So you drove 20 miles back. You just wasted 40 miles. You just wasted 40 miles. He, if he gets them cheeks, I'm glad he got them. I'm just letting you know that. Because you're
All the way
dumb.
there, I felt this pressure in the car.
You're
He
just
wasn't
dumb.
talking, but I could feel him
You're
watching me.
white people horror
The
movie
hairs
dumb
on my
at
arms
that.
were
Like,
standing
you're a
up.
slow motherfucker.
He was still staring at the back of my head. At one point,
So
I
many
tried to
red
lighten the
flags you
mood.
just skipped over.
I said, "Rough night?" He replied, "You could say that." I asked if everything's all right.
He's
He
gonna
said,
slit your throat.
"Not yet." I didn't ask any more questions. When we got back to the strip mall, I parked under the same light where I picked him up. But before I could say anything, he leaned forward and asked, "You ever wonder how you're gonna die?" I froze. I laughed awkwardly and said, "Not really something I think about."
You're gonna die right now. That's exactly what he's finna do to you. I already suspected that's what he was gonna do to you. I already knew. I guessed it. And I figured it out, bitch. Yes, he's finna give you all this. Yeah. Cause your stupid ass really took him back. You should have pulled off. The minute you can't see, this is why I don't get it. Cause whenever I hop in the Uber ride or Lyft ride, when the ride gets canceled, the ride gets canceled. They pull off. Why the fuck you ain't pull off? Sir, you have to put it back in the app. This nigga told you to take me back where I was standing, and you really did that shit. You deserve everything he gives you.
He didn't laugh. He just leaned back in his seat, and after a few seconds, he said, "I think about it all the time." Then he opened the door and got out without another word. He didn't close the door right away. He just stood there for a second, half in and half out of the car. Then he looked at me and said, "You picked the wrong guy up tonight." He shut the door and walked off into the darkness behind the bowling alley. I sat there for a minute, too shaken to move. Eventually, I drove home.
Did he kill Derek? Did he kill Derek? Because he said he was the wrong guy. Like, is that meaning that he killed Derek or some shit?
Constantly checking my mirrors. When I got home, I looked at the trip details again. Something was off. The name had changed. It no longer said Derek. It was blank. No name, no profile picture, no trip history. It was like the ride never happened. I contacted Uber support to report it, but they told me the trip data was unavailable. They said sometimes that happens if the app crashes or if the rider cancels midway. But I know what I saw. I know I completed the trip. I know the man got in and out of my car, and I know he said what he said. "You picked the wrong guy up tonight." I've never seen him again, and I hope I never do. But every time I get a ping in a dimly lit parking lot or have a silent passenger in the back seat, I remember that night. And I remember that feeling that something terrible could have happened. That
Man,
maybe he changed his mind at the last second,
man,
or maybe he was never planning to do anything, just wanted to scare
man,
someone. But I still wonder what he meant, and if he ever found the right
man.
car.
Story 2 by Badger. Okay, Badger, please don't be a dumbass.
This
Let's see.
happened in 2021 when I was
Hmm.
driving for Uber full time. I live
Okay.
in a city that gets a lot of tourists, especially in the
Yeah.
summer, so rideshare gigs can be decent money if you're consistent.
Hey, he be outside for them hot girl summers, nigga. I know he getting bread. All the bitches want to be riding in that block truck. You better have a block truck though. You can't have no regular Nissan and be trying to pick them up. They ain't gonna want to hop in. They want that block truck now. That's what's in style now. I don't get it. Motherfuckers will spend $200 an hour for a block truck. Tripping. The dumbest niggas ever. Word, bro. A billionaire wouldn't even spend that much. What the fuck are you doing?
I worked
Goofy.
mostly nights, partly because
Some of
I'm
the
a night
goofiest
owl,
niggas
and
ever.
partly because
Mm.
it's less
Mm-mm-mm.
traffic and better tips from drunk passengers coming back from bars. The night this happened, it was around 1:30 in the morning, a pretty normal Saturday night crowd.
Oh, so you doing it late at night? I thought about doing Uber or Lyft, man. I'm scared though. I ain't gonna lie to you, cause man, the last story was already weird as fuck. You had a nigga in the back seat wanting to off you. You already know the rules and regulations. Why not pull off? The dumbest nigga ever. I'm glad they didn't have the info. Your ass got robbed. that nigga, that nigga got a free ride.
I had just dropped off a group of college kids who wouldn't stop yelling in the back of my car, so
Damn,
I was glad to get a request that looked quieter. The name said Chris, and the pickup
Chris,
location was a small side street just off downtown. The weird thing
Chris.
was, the pin was in kind of an odd area, not
Like
near any
where?
bars or apartments, more like near the back lot of an old strip mall. But I figured maybe it was just
Hold up, hold up. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Is this the same nigga from the first story? Is this the same nigga from the first story? The same strip mall?
the bad GPS marker. It happens sometimes. I drove over and saw a guy standing at the corner, hoodie on, jeans, staring down at his phone. I pulled up and said, Chris? He nodded and got in the back without saying much.
This is Chris. This the same
He
nigga.
didn't smell like alcohol or slur his words. He seemed sober and
What
just
the
really
fuck?
quiet. He didn't say hello, nor did he answer when I asked how his night was going.
Oh wow.
Some people just aren't talkers, so I didn't think much.
You're finna be his victim. I'm not even gonna lie. He didn't get the first nigga, but he damn sure getting the second nigga. Or he just sucks at killing. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. How you fuck up two bodies?
Of it. I started the ride, and the drop off was on the opposite side of town, 25 minutes away, in a suburban neighborhood I'd been to maybe once or twice before. The thing was, it was dark out there, like no streetlights in some areas.
The same
Pretty
house?
isolated. I noticed about 5 minutes into the trip that Chris had his phone out, but he wasn't texting or calling anyone. He was holding it flat in his lap with the flashlight on, just shining the beam upward, slightly toward my seat. I asked him kind of half joking, everything all right back there? He just mumbled, yeah, and then turned the flashlight off. The next 20 minutes were dead silent,
This
just the
nigga
hum
was
of the
recording
engine
you.
and a weird tension building in the car. I don't know how to describe it. Something just felt off about this guy. Not threatening, but definitely unsettled, like he wasn't really there. We got to the neighborhood, and I followed the GPS to the house. But as we pulled up, I noticed it was totally dark. No porch light, no inside lights, nothing. I asked, "Is this the right place?" Chris didn't answer. He just sat there. I turned around and looked at him. I repeated myself a little louder, saying, "Hey, is this it?" He stared past me out the window. I repeated myself one more time, and finally he nodded. So I put the car in park and said, "Have a good night." He didn't move. He just sat there. So I asked again, "Are you good?" He finally reached for the handle and stepped out, but he didn't close the door. He just stood outside the car with the door open, facing the house. I sat there waiting.
He's finna kill the people in the house. He's killing people in the house and then catching Ubers for the drivers. But then when they pull up the receipts that they driven this nigga, it doesn't pop up. This nigga is a nation born Joe Goldberg and Dexter, bro. This nigga know what he doing. Hey, he's certified.
A few seconds passed, then 20, and then a full minute.
Bitch, pull off. Why the fuck? Y'all niggas wait too long. The minute he would have stepped out the car, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are you doing? Why do you care to stay if he gets in the house? Y'all be dead ass like. That's the thing about Uber drivers. I don't give a fuck if you get out in the house or not. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would just pull off. It ain't got nothing to do with me, bitch. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That's how I feel like it should really be. Why are you watching me walk into my crib to be sure that this is my house or this is somewhere I need to be? It ain't none of your fucking business. Pull off. What are you doing? Y'all be wanting to watch. Like, that's why I be telling my Uber or Lyft drivers, drop me off right here. Don't pull up all the way. They be like, okay. And pull off. Like, that's simple. I don't know what the fuck his ass is doing. His ass got a motherfucking survival instinct of a white person in a horror movie. I swear on my soul.
I was just about to
It's
say
dumb.
something when he suddenly turned around, looked at me through the open door, and said, "I need to go back." I blinked and said, "Back where?" He said, "Where you picked me up." His tone was flat with no emotion. I didn't know what to say. That was a
This nigga
25-minute
really gonna
drive, and
drop
it
him
wasn't
back
like I could
off.
just reverse the trip. I told him he'd have to request a new ride, but he just stared at me.
Pull the fuck off, nigga. Why do y'all not pull off? Why? The fuck do y'all not pull off? Y'all just sit there like good boys. Y'all niggas is some bitches. I can tell. Cause ain't no way in hell you just really just sitting there and waiting for this nigga to tell you you're gonna drop me back off. Any Uber driver that I done got in an Uber ride with, they pull right the fuck off after I get out. Why the fuck don't you do that? Like,
He begged me, saying, "Please, I need to go back." I told him again, "You need to request it through the app." That's when he said something that sent chills up my spine. He said, "I can't. They're not gone yet." My only response could be, "Who's not gone?" He didn't answer. He just stood there,
what
still
the
holding the
fuck?
door open, and I noticed he was breathing heavily. At that point, I started getting seriously uncomfortable. I
Pull the
said,
fuck
"Look, I can't
off.
just start a new ride unless you request it." He
Pull
stared for
off.
another second, then slowly backed away and closed the door. He walked toward the house, even though it was pitch black and looked empty. I waited until he got to the porch before I pulled off.
Right.
The moment I turned the corner, I ended the trip in the app and started heading back toward downtown. A couple blocks down, I stopped at a 24-hour gas station to use the bathroom and get a drink. I parked at
This nigga stole your car. Is that what you're gonna tell me that this motherfucker stole your car? This nigga stole your car, didn't he?
the side of the building,
I
went
don't tell me
inside,
that's what
and
happened
came
to you,
back out
cuz.
maybe 4 minutes later. And when I got back to my car, I felt like my brain short-circuited. Chris was sitting in the back seat, same hoodie and same expression. I thought I had locked the doors before going inside.
This nigga broke into your car. This nigga broke into your car and just sitting in the back seat waiting on you. Bitch, if you don't call the cops at that point, this nigga just broke into your vehicle in front of you. You have him in your vehicle. Call the cops. What the fuck are you doing?
But somehow he was in the back of the car. I opened the driver's side door and stepped back in slowly,
Oh my
keeping my eye on
god.
him through the mirror. "How did you get back in?" I asked. He just said, "Take me back."
User. Nigga, call the police. Why you asking questions? You asking him too many questions. He got back into your car. He first of all, he fucking stalked you. He stalked you back to the gas station. Call the police. The fuck are you doing?
I said, "I'm calling the cops," and reached for my
Thank you.
phone. That's when he leaned forward, close enough for me to hear his breath, and said, "They're still in the house." I don't know why, but I didn't call the police.
Oh my fucking god, bruh. Y'all just got the instinct of a dumbass. I don't even know what's up with you niggas, bruh. You should have called the cops and ran away from the gas station and be like, I have a pervert in the car. That's what you should have did. You ain't want to do that.
Something about the way he said that made me feel like he was having some kind of episode. I played along
The nigga, call the cops. Why you dealing with it? Oh my God.
and said, "Whose house is that?" And he said, "My parents." I asked him if he lived there,
That was not his parents' house.
and he said not anymore. That made the hairs stand up on my neck. I started slowly driving back to where I picked him up. Every part of me was screaming not to do it, but I didn't know what else to do. As we got closer, he started breathing heavier. He was rocking slightly in the back seat. At one point, he whispered, "They're still there. They won't leave, no matter what I do." When we pulled up to the house, there were still no lights, still no signs of anyone living there. He got out without saying anything, and
Nigga, why the fuck? Oh my God, you's a dumbass. Why are you doing all this? Nigga, you should have called the cops. This is the one time I would condone and snitching, bitch. You should have called the feds. Fuck all the bullshit. What are you doing?
walked up to the front door and stood there. He didn't knock or anything.
Pull the fuck off. Why you worried about him? Pull off. My nigga. Oh my
He
God.
just stood still. I waited maybe 30 seconds, then pulled away again, making damn sure the
Why you waiting even 10 seconds, bitch? You should have pulled off after 5. Fuck all the bullshit. What
doors
are
were
you
locked.
doing?
I drove 3 blocks, parked under a streetlight, and sat there for 10 minutes trying to process what just happened. I debated calling the cops, but what would I even say?
God, my God, my God. Just white boy foolery. This shit is so goddamn retarded to me, man.
That a guy got into my car twice and said weird things?
This man got into the car with you and played with himself in your backseat. You then dropped him off 2 separate times at the same house. First of all, he was there the first time and jumped back into your car, followed you back to the goddamn gas station, and jumped in the backseat of your vehicle while you was taking a piss. That means this nigga followed you from that house to that gas station, watched you go to the fucking bathroom, got into your car, and you dropped him off again? By the way, you didn't even get paid for dropping him off again. And you waited 30 fucking like it's nothing to say, gang. Like it's really nothing, man.
There was no crime technically as far as I knew, so I just drove home and didn't sleep that night.
You're a fucking loser.
The
I
next
ain't gonna
day,
lie.
I
You're a
reported the
fucking
ride to
dumbass.
Uber, and
Nah,
honestly, I regretted
it's
not
not
reporting this
there.
to the police because the man might have been sick in the head needing help. I hope he didn't hurt anyone.
He
Who
definitely
knows if that
did.
house was even really his parents' house,
It
or if he
wasn't.
actually was just having a manic episode.
Story 3 by Macy.
As our nation celebrates
God damn it.
250.
Wow, with
Watching
your
TV,
sandwich, shorty.
and I got the notification that my food was delivered. As soon as I got that notification, I jumped up, eager to get my food.
Fat ass.
I was starving. When I opened the door to grab my food, it wasn't there, so I thought maybe he set it at the wrong door. But looking down at all the doors, none of them had the food at them. So I went back in and was gonna
That nigga ate your shit. That nigga's eating your shit in the car. He's eating your shit in the car and said he dropped it off.
message him when I heard a knock at my door. It was my next door neighbor. He was holding my food. He said, "Hey, sorry, I picked up your food from your delivery driver because he was looking through your windows and I wasn't sure what he was doing." I took the food and thanked him, wondering what the hell just happened. I went back in, ate my food, and enjoyed a movie when I started to get ready.
Why the fuck are you gonna go enjoy a movie after your neighbor just told you he caught a grown ass DoorDash Uber Eats driver, whatever the fuck, peeking through your window, and you're going back to eat your food? Call the cops.
For bed. I took a shower, then went to turn off my TV and make sure all my doors were locked before going to bed. I laid down in bed, called my boyfriend, and eventually ended up falling asleep. I woke up a few times during the night to my dog growling at the window or the back door. My dog isn't a
Sending you signals, bitch. He telling you that motherfucker right there.
huge, scary dog. He's a small 5-pound Morkie, but it's still pretty scary when he growls at something and catches you off guard. I finally got him to calm down and go back to sleep. It wasn't even 15 minutes later that I woke up to banging on my window. My dog started going crazy.
911, can you come over my house, please? Ooh, see how hard that was? That was easy as shit. That's all you gotta do.
Barking, growling, and even whimpering. I
You
couldn't
just
move in my
laying
bed.
there.
I took the bed sheets and pulled them over my head, just leaving enough to not cover my eyes so I could see the window. I called the police and whispered into the phone quietly. I explained to the operator that someone is in my backyard and my window doesn't lock so it can easily be lifted up. She told me to go to a different room and police would be at my apartment shortly. I ran to my kitchen and grabbed a knife, just waiting to see blue and red lights or hear sirens. It felt like forever. I looked out the window of my kitchen and never expected to see what I saw. The Uber driver's car that delivered my food. His car was sitting across the street from my apartment. When you open the door to my apartment, there's a large open field to the left that's used for parking trailers and
That car, that nigga came back for a second peek.
letting dogs play. He was parked there, but I didn't see anyone in the car. I put two and two together and thought to myself, he's in my backyard. The police finally arrived. I could barely even speak. I was shaking and crying. I explained to one officer what happened, while the other went to check out my backyard, which is where my bedroom window is. Another officer who arrived went to check his car because it was still in the field, but he wasn't in his car. The two officers came back and started talking with the officer I was speaking to, telling her there's footprints in my backyard, which it had just rained the night before, so it was very muddy outside. I started panicking once I heard that, not just because that's not what you want to hear, but also because where was this guy if he didn't come back arrested with the cops and wasn't in his car?
He ran off. That's probably not even really his car either. He probably just did this shit just to do it. He thought you looked fine through the app. He just had to get a look at you.
My neighbor came outside to see what was going on. The officers explained to him what was happening. Then he spoke about how he picked up my food for me earlier that day. The neighbor invited me to sleep over at his apartment for the night if it made me feel any better. Oddly, I passed on the offer, and when all the cops left, I went back into my apartment. Thinking it was all over, I took a few hours to get comfortable enough to fall asleep. But at 2 a.m., I woke up to banging on my front door and heard police. There's no way this is happening right now, I thought to myself. I got up and went to my front door, scared to open it. It was the woman I spoke to earlier. She explained they stayed at my apartment, hidden to watch for that guy, in case he showed back up. And he did. They caught him walking up to my front door, thinking he was going to try to find a way in. My heart fell to my stomach when I heard her say that. She then explained he was arrested, and I don't have to worry about him anymore. I thanked her, and went back to try and sleep. Unfortunately, I couldn't fall asleep this time. I also don't use Uber Eats anymore when I'm home alone.
I'm sorry. Story 4 by Austin. Last story, bitch. Story time after story time.
I was 26 at the time, and I'm male.
Hey.
I was in Washington, D.C. on a sort of
DMV,
vacation,
bitch?
visiting my then
Okay.
fiancée. I'll call her Sarah for the sake of the story. I was
Sarah from DC. Let me just tell you something about them Sarahs. They on U Street shaking ass. I'm just letting you know that. And if you don't know what U Street is, find out for yourself.
visiting for a graduation she was having for her basic training. It was a big deal for her family.
If he was about to
She
say
asked me
high school, bitch, I thought he was about to say high school for a second. Like she's graduating high school. I was about to be like, okay, pervert.
to be there for it.
Calm
So
down.
I said why not and booked the flight to be there. I'd be arriving about a week before the rest of her family, so she and I could have some time, just the two of us, before she would be busy with having all of her family there for the occasion. She stayed with me at my hotel during this time, and eventually we decided we wanted to go and explore some of the nearby historical sites that Washington had to offer. I'd never been there, of course, so the idea piqued my interest and we decided to do it. Once we arrived at our location, we spent about 4 hours walking around and seeing all the sights. From the Lincoln Memorial to the Washington Monument, the Congress Building, and even the White House. It really was a fun and exciting experience for myself to see all these places, as I had missed out on going on a school trip in high school to visit them. Sarah at the time seemed to appreciate my interest in them as well, and we really enjoyed ourselves.
That's good. That's
After we
good.
finally decided we had enough walking around and were ready to return to the hotel, we used the Uber app to call for a ride. We had used it earlier to arrive and had no issues, so we decided to just use it again for the ride back.
First of all them Uber rides suck. Lyft is way better. At least Lyft let you know, or not even let you know, but you can look at Lyft and tell that motherfucker's a pedophile. Most of the Uber drivers look like pedophiles. That's why I won't use Uber. And plus, it'd be expensive as shit. Like, who the fuck want to pay $40 to go down the street or up the hill or something? Ain't nobody doing all that.
Sarah made the request on her phone while I sat down under some shade and waited. I was pretty tired from all the walking we did, and I could feel my body just ready to get back to the hotel for a long needed nap. Eventually, after about 10 minutes of waiting, a car pulled up in front of us along the side of the road. Sarah motioned for me that this was the car, as the place they stopped at was not a parking spot or a place a car would just stop at on its own. I stood up and followed her to the car, where she opened the back door and stepped inside, asking the man, "Uber for Sarah?"
Why y'all hop in a white van? Oh my god. Y'all really is a Sarah. I don't remember Buddy name, but you really is a Sarah ass couple.
And he gave a slight nod without saying anything, so I followed her into the car and
This how
shut the
he
door
hit you?
behind me. Now looking back on this,
That nigga's gonna kill both of y'all.
I realized how stupid both her and myself were in doing this.
Yes.
We should have asked for the driver's name and verified the car was a match to the one on the app. I didn't
Just jump right in.
have access
First of all, y'all ain't look at the license plate. Just dumbasses. I would expect this shit from a teenager. You doing this shit.
to any of this myself, and she made the request on her phone, so it didn't really cross my mind at the time to do any of this. As we both sat in the back of the car, which was a gray-colored minivan, the driver didn't speak to us. I found this a bit odd, as any other driver I'd ever had would at the very least greet me once I entered or confirmed my name. But this guy, nothing. He started driving without acknowledging either of us, other than the nod he gave when Sarah asked him if he was our Uber. And I did pick up on how weird it was, but I was tired and didn't really feel like trying to engage with the man myself.
You on
I
bullshit.
laid my head back and just closed my eyes. I then felt a tap on my arm from Sarah after what felt like only 5 minutes of the drive. I opened my eyes and looked at her, and she didn't speak to me. I could see the look on her face was one of worry, and it had me wondering what exactly she was concerned about. She then
He's
pointed to
going
her
a different
phone,
way.
which was showing the route the Uber would take to drive us back to our hotel.
He really driving
It
through
didn't take me
DC.
long
Damn,
to
that shit
realize
crazy.
the way we were going was not the way the route had said. In fact, it was the opposite way. I could see Sarah's face drain with color shortly after, when a notification popped up on her phone saying our Uber had arrived, followed by a message from the driver asking where we were. My heart sank into the pit of my stomach. It was then I realized how dumb I was by not verifying the car and driver before we just both stepped in. The picture that was on Sarah's phone within the app did not match the driver, and I knew we had gotten ourselves into a situation. I slowly looked back towards the driver, but I didn't say anything. I didn't know what this man's intentions were, or what he was capable of, and honestly, I didn't want to find out. I just knew at that moment, I had to get both Sarah and I out of that car. I leaned forward and told the man that we had changed our minds and would be fine just being let out where we were in an attempt to get us out of the situation without alarming the man of what we knew. He glanced at me through the rearview mirror in the first actual acknowledgement of us he had given since we stepped into the vehicle. I caught his glance as he stared at me without saying a word in what felt like minutes, but was probably only 10 seconds. He didn't stop the car though. He didn't even say a word in response to me, and just kept driving the car as if nothing had been said.
Two of the dumbasses of dumbasses. We only a few minutes in. This nigga finna take you home and play some R. Kelly. He ain't even finna play with you. He finna piss on your girl, and he finna be diddying up your booty hole. That's what the fuck he finna do to both of you motherfuckers.
My patience had run out, and I knew whatever this man had in store for us wasn't good. I then did the only thing I could think of at that moment and reached into my pocket, pulling out my pocket knife. I flipped the blade out, and without wasting another second, I told the driver, "I know you're not our Uber driver. I don't know what your plan is here or what you think you're about to do to us, but I have a knife, and if you don't pull this car over right now, I have no problem using it." The driver's eyes quickly looked at me again within the rearview mirror, and I knew he could see the knife gripped tightly in my hand. He quickly pulled the van over, and I heard the doors unlock. Sarah and I wasted no time in getting out of that car as fast as we could. The moment we were both out, the man sped off. We quickly took a moment to gather ourselves as Sarah was having a panic attack, and I myself was still wrapping my head around what the hell just happened. Sarah quickly pulled out her phone and responded to our actual Uber driver and informed him of our location and asked if he could come pick us up. The actual driver arrived within a few minutes, and this time we made sure it was the right one. We told him everything that had happened, and it was then that he informed us something that made the blood in my veins go cold. He told us there had been multiple instances recently where people were posing as Uber drivers in the area, as it was an easy way to find many tourists and people not from the area that wouldn't think twice about just getting into a car thinking it was a Lyft or Uber. Apparently, many people had gone missing, and they could only assume the worst. He told us both we were lucky we noticed when we did, and hadn't gotten further away from where we had been picked up, which was probably the only reason the man let us go, and of course the fact that I was armed. We made it back to the hotel without issue, and we quickly reported it to the police. We gave the best description of the man and the car that we both could, and the police told us they'd call us with any information they could find. We never heard back from them, so I assume the man was never caught or found, and that worries me that he could still be out there doing this to others. Again, I realized how stupid we both were after all this, not verifying whose car it was we were getting into. But let this be a reminder to everyone listening, do just that. Always verify your Uber drivers, and always make sure you're aware of your surroundings.
I thought we already do that shit, or I at least already do that shit. I don't know a single person who doesn't, bitch. Like, but that would be the end of the video right here. Them motherfuckers was some of the goofiest, dumbest niggas yet. Like, I don't give a fuck how tired, how sleepy, how I'm gonna pass out like Shorty from Scary Movie. Bitch, I'ma look at the license plate in the car and look at the dude and the female. Why the fuck you ain't doing none of that? You just hopped right in. And it was a white van. It was a white van. That ain't already suspicious to you? First of all, if it's a white van pulling up to pick me up for Uber, I'm not even hopping in it. I'll just cancel. Yeah. Pull off. I don't even want you. I don't even trust you. I don't see how the fuck you would trust that. But if you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your folks, share with your friends. I'm KTY Reactions, and I'm out, bitch. Peace.
No tears, long road, baby. It's more than love, baby, I'm baby. Second guessing my feelings, being yours, baby. I ain't worried on the talking, I want action, baby. Touch me, face me, baby.